Welcome to the new moon sound ceremony. So I'm going to start by just burning some sage here. If you have any smudge on hand, go for it. Although we can maybe send some virtual waves of smudge. Look at that, we're all such good spiritualists. Just purifying the space, Today's a really good day to take a nice salt bath or something, to really just acknowledge that we're entering into the new cycle, the new lunar cycle. And as I've mentioned before, one of the reasons that over the years I've been so interested in holding sound ceremonies pretty much every new moon when I can, and then of course celebrating equinoxes and summer solstices, is that it gives us an opportunity to really coalesce with nature and with Mama Gaia. And that's something that our ancient ancestors just knew so very well, and why, the pagans would follow the wheel of the year, and they'd have the 4 seasonal festivals and the 4 mid-season festivals. And when I discovered all of that, I just thought, what a genius way, to create meaning together, to have these festivities. And of course, working with the lunar cycle is a really profound way to tap into the mythological consciousness, which is a huge theme on this journey, about entering into a relationship once again with the symbolic realm, that more feminine side. I mean, I really see astrology and the lunar cycle as another restoration of the feminine on the planet, which is so needed in this, healing of the patriarchy. And the lunar cycle is just this, it's like another wheel. It's churning you every month to really coalesce to the symbols of each sign, and of course all the complexity that comes with astrology, because it's not just about being in the sign of Leo, for instance. There's all kinds of other starry alignments happening, and that can be really profound. So I'm going to just call in the directions, and I have this beautiful gold singing bowl that I'm going to use here, because just to honor that the sign of Leo is the only astrological sign that's actually governed by the sun, which is amazing. So gold has always been synonymous with solar energy. So let's just call in the directions together. So if you want to find a comfortable seat, you can close your eyes if you wish. I'm just going to give this bowl a few little hits to bring in that beautiful solar resonance. And just take some moments here to find your breath and to find that centering with yourself. Finding that center in your heart, imagining there's a beautiful star shining vitally and abundantly and radiantly in the center of your chest. And just let your body release any tensions with a few sighs that may be in your tissues, in your muscles, in your joints. And then let us honor the 4 directions. So we begin by honoring the spirits of the East, where the sun rises each morning. And in the East we find this incredible reverence and skillful relationship with nature. We find the Taoists, and also a relation to the Native Americans, who are said to have come from the East in some traditions. So we call the spirit of the East into our sacred sound ceremony today. May we be blessed. We move to the direction of the south. We honor the spirits of the south. And the south has always been connected with the energy of the heart and the energy of children and our primal innocence. So we call this joyous childishness within ourselves, that eternal child, as sons and daughters of creation, of the goddess. And we honor the spirits of the south, and we call them into our sacred sound ceremony. blessed. We move to the west, the sacred direction of the west, and we call in the spirits of the west. The west is very connected to the holiness of our bodies, the primal energies of our physicality, the temple that the body is for the spirit, and the joyfulness to master and really enthuse our energies through the body, through dance, through sexuality, through sensuality. We call in the beautiful spirits of the West into our sacred sound ceremony. May we be blessed. We move now to this sacred north direction, the spirits of the north. The north is connected with the powers of the mind, to that energy of awareness, the ability to witness higher consciousness. These powerful energies of the mind, the wisdom of the intellect, and the mysticism of those higher intelligence centers. We also call in the spirits of our ancestors from the north to be with us today in this sacred sound ceremony. And we thank the spirits of the north. May we be blessed. We elevate our awareness up now into the cosmos in which we find ourselves, the great mystery of the universe, and we honor the stellar realms, galactic consciousness, and all the mysteries of the worlds upon worlds of the multiverse. And we call this energy, very connected to the symbol of Father Sky, into our sacred sound ceremony. May we be blessed. We send our roots now down and down into the earth to honor Mother Earth and also Pachamama, the star goddess, who originally came from the pleroma and transformed into our planetary mother. We honor all the animal spirits, the spirits of the elementals and the minerals, the sacred waters, the sacred rocks, all the creatures of this planet. We invite Pachamama, Mother Earth, into our sacred sound ceremony. May we be blessed. And the seventh direction is, of course, our heart. So we come into a deeper connection in the center of our chest to that radiant place, the citadel, the temple of our soul, shining forth infinite rays of light and the genius of love. And we feel ourselves deeply connected to our self-worth as being a child and a relation of all these elements that we've constellated here in our sacred sound ceremony. May we be blessed. Okay, aho, ahe. We are togethered with all these beautiful things. So, new moon in Leo is truly one of my favorite new moons of the year. Obviously, I'm very connected to the spirit of the lion. I really regard the white lion, in fact, as my spirit animal. And I'm happy to say that during this sound journey today, we'll be doing a meditation to connect to the animal spirit of the lion. And the lion carries a very powerful energy for humanity. Lions and lionesses have always been considered the protectors of humanity. They have a certain aura about them, a regal aura. And it's said that their roar and just the energy of their presence scares away anything that would be negative or harmful to our soul. So that is why I've always encouraged, and I've always worked with the medicine of creatively visualizing lions in my heart, lion in my space, anytime I feel any kind of hostile or negative influence. And I've always been absolutely blown away at just that technology of mysticism, what happens when the lion is invited into my space. It always tends to bring a feeling of empowerment and sovereignty. And the white lions, and it's really nice because the next 4 chapters in the On Our All Creation journey, the second one we'll be doing this week, upcoming, is for the song prayer Lionheart. So it's really nice that this is all kind of lined up. And in that song prayer, we'll be diving really deep into connection with the white lions. But just to give you a sort of brief intro, the white lions are a great prophecy that has come true in Africa. And it was hundreds of years ago rather, that a mysterious event happened in an area known as Timbavati. Timbavati is a very sacred site in Africa that's on the same locational line as the pyramids of Egypt. And it is said that the Nile River actually goes underground and goes all the way throughout Africa, and it connects to lots of veins of golden energy and gold itself. And this river is said to be a deeply divine connector between Gaia and the cosmos itself. And water, of course, is such a medium for vibrations. And so about 700 years ago in Timbavati, a meteorite struck this area, and all of the animals went white. And the shamans were kind of disturbed. What does this mean? And they went into their rituals, and Spirit told them, this is a kind of harbinger, a prophecy that, we're going to be going through some big changes, earth changes in the times to come. And when the white lions show up, you will know that this time has come, and the white lions will be bringing this medicine to us to infuse us with the empowerment to really go through these transformations. And of course, the white lions have shown up a few decades ago. And they have a very powerful energy. They're really known as the King of Kings, the Queen of Queens. So connecting to them is something that I universally invite all human beings to get into. The sign of Leo, of course, is all about sovereignty. It's about leadership. It's also very connected to creativity. And this Leo new moon is interesting because it has a rather challenging set of aspects to it. One of them being that it's squared with the planet Uranus. So Uranus is known as the Great Awakener. It's it's also known as the revolutionary, the rebel. It can bring changes out of nowhere. It can bring a state of seeming chaos. Of course, chaos is always the birth pangs of a new order, so we have to keep that in mind. And it can really feel right now there's some other stars that are in place in Leo that have to do with Saturn and Mars. And there is a kind of feeling of impending doom about this new moon. And it's very interesting, when I started studying into the astrology the last few days, I had been feeling that. And I'm always just blown away when we come to the new moons and the full moons and we look at the astrology, because the correspondences always seem so precise. And I don't know if it's a case of confirmation bias or what have you, but when I talk to others and I hold these kinds of ceremonies, the resonance makes me believe that, wow, this truly is an incredible science of consciousness that gets us really in touch with a true sense of authenticity of what's happening on that galactic level and that earthly level, because everything is really woven together. And so I want to share that even though it seems like in the world right now there is a kind of impending doom, there's this really aggressive energy around the vaccines. I've had some very intense conversations with friends lately who have had, not only friends who have been injured by the vaccines, but have died. And I have friends who have got the vaccine as well. And pretty much everyone I've talked to has had side effects in some degree of minor to major. But even those people, they're feeling this kind of like, well, there's so much unjust energy happening around the propagation of the vaccines, how the media is manipulating it, the politicians, in the face of so much evidence that is showing that it's unsafe. And, everyone's decision is respected in this. And this is really the true challenge, is how can we grow the sense of love to be nimble and flexible and strong and sturdy enough to really be able to embrace everyone's context in this situation, so that we can have tolerant, peaceful conversations, and really move through this chaos into a new ordering where we can perhaps have an even more tolerant society and really understand healthcare on a deeper level. Of course, that can seem really hard, and there's a lot of dismay right now because the rhetoric and the mind-controlling powers of the media have done such a profound job. But if you pay attention each day, you'll notice that there's lots of things constantly shifting, constantly changing. And it's really up to us to acknowledge that when these kinds of adversities happen, they're always just a test. And we have to sit and we have to meditate and we have to bridle to spirit and to our ancestors and all the allies that we may call in to just figure out how to constantly evolve and better ourselves to be in better service of the great unity that is really being prophesized about these times. And we also have to remember that although the Mayans have called this the time of the ninth wave, unity consciousness, and you see a lot of these prophecies that are talking about this great time of unity that's happening, before that is to happen, we really need to look at where we are divided and where we can heal. And that's where the balm of love is always so important. We need to employ that in constancy these days, because there's going to be so many instances, and I myself have fallen prey to this, the duality in the conflict zones, and falling into a space of where we don't use love and we come at each other in this callous energy, made all the more tricky by the fact that so much communication nowadays happens digitally without face-to-face contact, where empathy is really denigrated. So just to bear that in mind, that we really want to bring in the powers of the lion, of the Leo, to really, as I like to say, the mantra of Leo is when love learns to roar. It's really about taking that lion, moving it into your heart, not keeping it down in the solar plexus center where we've collectively been for a very long time, really in love with power. But now we have to move into like the power of love. So visualizing a lion in your chest, which I'll be guiding during the sound journey, is a very powerful way to enthuse those energies of the heart. Yeah, it's powerful stuff, everything that's going on right now, and it just seems like it's getting more and more intense, and we just have to keep bearing in mind that we are born for this, that we have what it takes. No matter how dismayed it gets, we can have those moments. We can fall apart, we can wail, we can lament, but the resiliency that's afoot is very remarkable. And the powers of the human spirit have just, in my mind, been dormant for thousands of years, and we're now in that time where we're being prodded, and that prodding is actually benevolence. It's that fierce kind of compassion that's saying, wake up, and once you've woken up, step up. It's time to walk that walk. And that doesn't mean necessarily you have to be on the front lines of any kind of violent resistance. There's so many ways that we can work with magic and mysticism and ritual, which I believe is actually even more important than going out and protesting or fighting for rights very in the open air of society. There's so many other ways that we can really be in this, so keep bearing that in mind. So, as I've just gotten all the intellectual stuff out of the way, I'm going to just move back there, and we're going to start on our journey. And I'm very excited. I've got my Celtic harp all tuned up for you, and we're going to go on a really profound journey. So just give me a second. Let me make sure my sound is all good. Just double check my audio settings here. Yes, okay. Original sound is on. Okay, just give me a second. Hold on, just have to plug in my speaker. Check, check, check. All right. So let us begin. You all can hear me? So we begin by, once again, just coming into a space of centering. So finding your beautiful and holy breath, and starting to breathe nice and deep into the belly center. Letting the breath root nice and deep in the body. Let your body come into a state of deep peace and relaxation. Any tension in your body, just let it be released on the exhale with sighs if you wish. Sail throughout your body, just coaxing any areas of tightness to melt into serenity. Body nice and composed now in the vibration of peace. Let us ground and connect to Mother Gaia. So moving your awareness to the base of your spine, we begin by connecting to the root chakra. We can envision a ball of crimson red energy of our spine, shining in beautiful, resplendent health and vitality. We slowly begin to imagine that from the root chakra, we are beginning to extend golden energetic roots that spiral down into a great descent into the holy planetary body of Mother Earth. And our roots begin to spiral at a great and magical speed through the immense body of Mother Earth. Passing through great mystical underground rivers and crystal caverns, and perhaps observing many mystical elemental sights. Down and down and down we spiral and we spiral and we spiral. Deeper into the underworlds of Mother Earth until we finally and ultimately come to connect with the heart of Mother Earth. A giant crystal heart the size of a continent, pulsating with the fertile energy, the aliveness of Mama Gaia. Seeing her crystal heart shining with the light of a second sun, as some of the ancients called them, and connecting our roots to the heart of Mother Earth. Feeling her energies filling us up in this present moment body. maintain our awareness now in the earth's core, the heart of the mother. I will sing an invocation of honoring to the goddess Sophia. We open ourselves to receive any wisdom from her symbolic, intuitive insights, perhaps even her direct instructions, resting our awareness in our beautiful galactic heart. extend our thanks and gratitude for the heart of Gaia, for any messages we may have received. We hold them precious in our own hearts as we slowly start to bring our roots back up through the earth, all the way back until our awareness is once again seated in our beautiful body, ever knowing that we are living in the soul of Gaia, ever in connection, ever in her love, ever in her wisdom. As we rest in the light of our own hearts, we turn our awareness now to Grandmother Moon. We can imagine her high in the sky, shining with her elder, ancient, timeless wisdom. We send a ray of our heart's light to connect to Grandmother Moon in the skies above. And we imagine a powerful white lion and lioness presenting themselves in the arms of Grandmother Moon, feeling their beauty from afar, their great animal spirit power. We bow reverently to them, honoring you, O great spirits of the White Lions, bringers of the energies of great sovereignty, King of Kings, Queen of Queens, here to awaken in mutual force such power and empowerment within our humanity. And we invite this white lion and lioness to leap from the arms of Grandmother Moon into our own holy hearts. Dutifully receive them, feeling this lion energy filling our hearts with its ferocious and beautiful power of might for right, and the great light of love, now crowned as the true leader of our selfhood and our world. Feeling the great energy of the white lion's fulfillment of ancient prophecy, streaming into our very blood, into our very DNA, activating the codes of new sovereignty, the Christ-like codes, the King of King, Queen of Queen energy, feeling that bold spirit filling us. As I sing a song of praise to the white lion, lioness spirit, we stay in this activation of seeing them in our hearts, further deepening the awakening. imagine that white lion and lioness releasing a powerful roar inside of our hearts. A roar that cleanses us, sending anything that is negative, hostile to the power of our soul, running away outside of our holy boundaries. Feeling that ferocious power, infusing our love as our love roars out its light and radiance, shining it ferociously all over the world. The white lions have spoken, they have said, imagine that we are with every single human being right now. Every single human being on this planet has a white lion and lioness surrounding them, protecting them, infusing them, inspiring us to take the great evolutionary leap forward to the next stage of our conscious greatness, our glory, and the powers of our love. Billions and billions of white lions have said they are now appearing all over the planet to relate, to be embodied and held in the sacred temples of every single human heart. It is time for all of us to give the crown to love, to give the crown to love, to crown our love as the highest power, roaring with the power of 1 billion white lions and lionesses. And billions of white lions roaring all together at once to protect Mother Gaia from any further damage, empowering all of her ley lines, those roars zipping through all of her meridians, emboldening her light, feeding her with primal powers. Every sacred site amplifying the powers of these roars of the white lions. Clearing and cleansing our world of all that is negative and nefarious. Give our gratitude to the white lions. Sending them our thanks for this incredible devotional prayer they have brought through. And now we turn to Gaia, who is now so much more open and clear for our true, conscious and loving creativity to emerge and help foster the new earth. As we move into our heart space with the white lion and lioness there now, purring in relaxation after their great work that has been done. And we connect to the power of the new moon in this new cycle to visualize and imagine near what we wish to create, what new patterns do we wish to bring forth into our life, and what changes do we wish to see in the world.
And so we dream actively without limitation in this space, with the enchanting sound of the harp as our soundtrack. Dream and dream strong, letting your desires come out to play in all their fullness, letting shame melt away to the side, using the holiness of your imagination to create, to plant these new seeds. last few inspired moments of our Imagineering coming to a close, whatever visualizations our heart has desired to create in that space. We feel all of those seeds of creativity, all the desires we wish to dream awake in our life, and the changes that we wish to see in the world, swimming and floating in the power of our heart. Feeling that ray of light from Grandmother Moon that we breathe in to give everything even more enthusiasm. That turbocharge of that new moon energy filling our heart space as the white lions send out a soft roar, sending forth the seeds of our creativity out into the world, to seek the goodness of the world, to help orchestrate the circumstances and synchronicities to bring this into the next stage of manifestation. And we see those seeds of creativity, those desires becoming true in the world. We see those circumstances taking place. As our body begins to coalesce, the frequencies of emotions that would take place if those things were to come true, acting as if. We give our gratitude and our thanks to this divine universe for allowing us this sacred space of freedom and creativity to follow and make our dreams come true. We send our trust to the universe as now our co-creator, our trust to accept the circumstances as they come, to continue to work and water our psychic garden of all these creations, these new patterns that we wish to fulfill, in the great playfulness of existence. To the conclusion of our sound ceremony, we give thanks to Grandmother Moon. We give thanks to the white lions who are now finding a new home in our hearts. And we give thanks to Pachamama, the star goddess, Mother Earth. Sky, and all the mysteries of the universe. We thank the direction of the north and all the ancestors that have been with us. We release those spirits, and we thank the spirits of the West spirits of the South for all of their beautiful blessings of innocence and childishness. We release them from our ceremony. We thank the blessed spirits of the East, the perpetual newness of the dawn. We thank them and release them from our ceremony. We come finally once again into the citadel of our hearts, placing one hand over the other on our chest, bowing into that inimitable, indomitable light, radiating in our chest with our unique soul's frequency. We see ourselves shining all around us in this great glimmering symphony of life where light is truly everywhere, is everything. We are but waves and glimmers of that great ocean of light. Our light, so important in this grand symphony.